I was wrong. Guys, I was wrong. Okay? Keldon Johnson is the real deal. He is a Spur through and through. I had him on my tier ranking, which you guys might have seen in my first video. By the way, guys, go ahead and hit the like, comment, subscribe button if you can. It'll take just a few seconds. Anyway, I had Keldon at a D. One step above an F, where Zach Collins continues to lay. Keldon, I put you in the wrong tier. It was an emotional reaction. I know your game. Your big body. Your big body. We need you to be that big body that you were against OKC. Because my guy, that dunk, oh, first of all, had my man's on the floor. On the floor. Okay? And then you go in between Shea and I already forget the other guy, and you poster. And if you guys look at Wemby on the bench, Wemby's like, when you got Wemby doing that, you're doing something right. So Keldon, my guy, keep it up. My bad. If you're ever gonna watch this by some chance. All right, so everybody else, we're gonna jump into an analysis of the Thunder versus Spurs game. Of course, it was the second game for the Spurs in the NBA Cup, and it was a good one. It was a great one, actually. So just some things. Of course, the Spurs won. The Spurs had a 110-104 win over the Oklahoma City Thunder. Looking at the quarters, the first quarter it was 35-32 to the Thunder, and then the second quarter, which the Spurs really came out and dominated, it was 28-22, and then of course the third quarter where it all happened, 33-20, and then of course the Thunder making it close. I had a friend that was at the game and said that, you know, as you guys saw, the Thunder were really just in it for the fourth quarter. So definitely some things that the Spurs have to look at. Of course, injuries. You know, if you watched my game preview video, I put out a report the day before the game where I think it was Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Joe, Wemby, and Sohan. Those were the only people out. Well, I made the video again, and you know, Caruso was supposed to be out. Long story short, the injury situation in terms of relaying that information is really hard to keep updated with. So that's going to probably just be something that is a game time decision in videos. Anyway, so a 110-104 win over the Thunder. Of course, the highlight, there was a lot of highlights. Keldon Johnson, 22 points. Harrison Barnes, 20 points. You know, that's quality play from two players that we're going to need this season. I'm not saying the Spurs are going to win the championship. What do I want them to? Of course, all Spurs fans want the Spurs to win the championship every year. Do I think they're going to? Realistically, no. I mean, I think that we can get into the playoffs. I think that we can maybe even make an upset or two, but the longevity, I know we have CP3, which who knows, right? If you have a little bit of luck in the NBA and you're just on at the right time, who knows? But, you know, there's a lot of other teams that can also do that. So, of course, you know, the Thunder had Shea with 32 points and Jalen Williams with 27. So combined, 59 points. You know, that is the force. And you know, mind you, Chet wasn't even playing. So the Thunder are a team that, yes, we won tonight. And yes, you know, we can compete with them, but we're going to have to sharpen our game if we're going to keep up with this Thunder team. We know that they're stacked in the draft as well. So, you know, we know the Houstons are out there. We know the Warriors will, you know, be there for a few more years and everything, you know, until they make some changes. But the Thunder, I mean, they're sitting at the top of the West with are they at the top of the West? I'll have to look into that. But, you know, they're just playing really good ball right now. So some other highlights to look at. Steph Castle with 10 points, 8 assists. And, of course, oh, man, I know Keldon had the most, the greatest looking play. But Steph Castle probably had the game clinching play with his block on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 22 seconds left. So I mean, what more can you ask from a rookie? 10 points, solid. 8 assists, amazing. And then a game clinching block. He is who he said he would be. Let me put it that way. Chris Paul adding 14 points and 11 assists, and just really that veteran presence. Really keeping everything close with the mechanics of the game and really tightening things up whenever it needed to be done. Really, this was an impressive win, to be completely honest. I had mentioned in another video that, you know, when the Spurs don't play with Wemby, they play pretty good ball more times than not. But they didn't have Wemby, Sohan, and Vassell, so that's big. Of course, the Thunder were pretty beaten up too, with, you know, Holmgren and Hartenstein being out. So you know, that hurts, because there's pretty much your bigs. You know, so Zach Collins, I think, had a pretty decent game, and rightfully so, because, you know, the Thunder were pretty exposed in that area. So really, just looking at a solid win for the Spurs. Just really, it's looking good. It's looking good, and this was an NBA Cup win, so we're gonna gain some ground in terms of contending for that. You know, it'd be nice to win. You know, in terms of getting a good draft pick, you know, we do want to keep that in mind. But, you know, I'll make a video on some of the things the Spurs can do with those draft picks. You know, using them or trading for a big name. There's some pretty big names coming up in the 2025-2026 free agency class. But there's also some big names coming up in those draft classes. So I'll make a video on what you guys think the Spurs should do or could do with their draft picks moving forward. But overall, an amazing win for the Spurs against a Thunder team that had their best player. Let's keep that in mind. So I don't know what the odds were for the Spurs to win, but it should have been a Thunder win. Most people would say, but the Spurs came out on top despite their 3 big injuries. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Again, hit that like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have anything if there's anything that you want me to talk about in terms of really going in depth on something, or just my experience with a Spurs situation, or even an NBA situation, this is really a Spurs channel, but a basketball channel. That's where the intention is with it. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good night, and of course, go Spurs, go.